Hi, Lloyd Snyder here again. This time I'm making a YouTube video primarily for my daughter Kara, one of my 4 lovely daughters, who has asked me if I could make a penny jig. Well, I thought I would not only make the penny jig, but I would maybe do some instructions on how someone else could make a penny jig if they'd like to. First of all, I decided that since you have to glue the pennies down, and believe me, I learned this all this afternoon because I've never heard of a penny jig. So I started out deciding to do roughly a 12 by 12 tile of pennies. I had to calculate the distance between the pennies so that when the board's cut, it won't just break in half because it has so many holes in it. So what I wound up with was an idea that gave me 3/16 of an inch between each penny if they were laid out in such a manner. I hope you can see that in this film. That wound up putting 216 pennies per tile. Each tile is as close as I could get to a square foot. It wound up with the boards being cut at 14 and roughly a half by 14.5 inches. And that will contain the board. So I did the programming in a program called CAMBAM, which is a CAD/CAM program for CNC users, and I'm going to do the cutting on my CNC machine. So basically these are easy to make once you have it all laid out, if you happen to own a CNC machine. I'm not real sure how you would do it otherwise. But having said that, we're going to go now to taking a small piece of this masonite. I chose the shiny sided masonite, shiny one side, because this has to sit down on sticky paper, and you push the pennies through and they stick to the paper, and then you thin set on your floor or whatever you're putting your pennies on, and you make it like a tile floor, only it's made out of copper pennies. Plenty of YouTube videos and plenty of images if you just Google penny jig. Just P-E-N-N-Y-J-I-G. Penny jig. And you can make some really interesting looking floors. Thank you. enjoy some CNC viewing. And as I said, I'm going to do a little bit of instruction. I hope that my learning curve can help sharpen your learning curve. I did prove that cutting this many holes in a piece of 1/8 masonite did not weaken it all that much. I'm kind of surprised. It's good and strong. It works really good. That's the test piece. This is the prototype, and the pennies fit and fall right through, which is what you want them to do, because I'm assuming you don't want to have to hammer them through. Of course, it is much easier to make one of these if you happen to have a CNC machine. If you don't, I would highly recommend you find a good friend who has one that can program it and cut it out for you. And I will give you some details on how long it took. Not the programming. I started the programming this morning, and that took a little while to get all the spacing exactly right. I was interrupted for a couple of things, but I probably have about 2.5 hours in the in the programming, in the CAD/CAM program. Once that was programmed, though, generating the G code only takes a few minutes. My machine is driven by a program called Mach 3, and it didn't exactly make short work of this. It took 55 minutes and 55 seconds for the actual cutting of this thing. So, and as you can see, I damaged it a little bit when I was removing the double-sided tape that was holding it down. I really wanted it to be all shiny because I don't want it sticking to the sticky paper that's going to hold the pennies eventually. So this prototype may not actually ever see use. I may have to use a less sticky double-sided tape, or maybe less of it. Would probably have worked just fine. So that's where we are right now, and I hope this has been of some help.